Robotaxi rollout is getting bigger by the day, and yes, it's exciting, but only to those who are actually paying attention. If you're not paying attention, well, it's all doom and gloom, of course. And if it's going to be doom and gloom, well, I know few people better qualified to talk about Robotaxi than my friend Herbert from Brighter, who had, as far as I'm concerned, the first drive. Some people argue you missed it by 30 seconds, but you went for hours live. You've got a whole lot of experience, and I appreciate that. We're going to talk about the rollout. We're going to talk about people who have very serious concerns, but they are unserious people. You'll see. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So, Herbert, Robotaxi. I mean, it's in Austin, it's in the Bay Area, and if you look at it here, this is the latest. Joe Techmeyer, among others, put this out, showing just how expansive the area is. This includes some new territory, doesn't it? How far does this go?
It goes as far as, includes Giga, Texas, includes the airport. It is 10 times bigger than it started. That is quick, in 66 days. This is crazy how fast this has gone. Now, of course, they did say that they're also going to double the number of cars. Still small, right? It's only 10 cars, maybe 12 cars that they have. Now doubling that, maybe another 5 or 6. So maybe we're getting closer to 20 cars. So it's still a number of small cars. You still have the safety observer that's sitting in the car with you doing nothing. But they've expanded it, and it's still invite only. So you still have to, they've expanded it beyond influencers, but they don't share how many people have access to the app. But if you think about how brilliant this is, I don't think anybody has guessed, that would have guessed that this is the way that they would roll this out. But if you think about it, the most important thing is to have safety and make sure that nothing bad happens. Tesla's treated very differently, despite the fact that Waymo in Austin, since the beginning of this year, has had over 160 different incidents already and accidents. So it's like if Tesla has one or two or something, that's going to make global, national news and global news. So what they've done is have the idea that they're going to expand the geofence, test it with these 20 cars, make sure that it's going really, really well. Why do they do that? The reason is that they already know that their FSD works. It's already as safe as a human. We're waiting for version 14 that's going to be distributed to us a year from now. And we don't know what the Robotaxi version, we know that the Robotaxi version that I use in June 22nd, Elon confirmed that that's 6 months ahead of what we were using. But are they already now testing version 14, which is what I believe that they're doing? And when that is complete, Elon said that will be 2 to 3 times safer than a human. Now, so my point is this. Why are they doing this? They're doing this because get the geography, just double, triple check that everything's working really, really well with small number of cars, reduce the chance of any kind of incidents happening. But they already know that as soon as I decide to turn it on, I can remove the safety driver, and it works. For sure in this geography, if not everywhere. So it's like I'm not worried that they have not increased the number of cars. That's one of the big arguments, 10, 20, 30, 40. How come you've not done 40 or 50 by now? We would have all said by August they should have had 50 cars. They're not doing that. But what matters more for us and for me is progress with FSD. Is FSD improving? And if everything that Elon is saying turns out to be true, that it's 2 to 3 times safer than a human for version 14, and we're going to find that out by next month, if that's all true, I'm not worried at all. I don't care that they take this long.
Indeed. So let's look at the map compared to way less. Sorry, what was it called?
Waymo.
This is, right. When Robotaxi came out, it had about the same geographical coverage as Waymo. Waymo, not happy, had to expand. And Tesla's been expanding as well. It's getting to the point where Waymo can't expand. I would argue, and tell me if I'm crazy here, if Waymo tries to keep up with Tesla's expansion, they'll have to add more vehicles that they don't have because they have to maintain a level of service. They're not in testing phase, they're in deployment. They need to keep the customers satisfied, where Tesla just needs to test Is that fair?
No, it's fair. I mean, it's whether or not the debate is, I'm better than you because we have a bigger service area than you, or I'm better than you. It doesn't matter that we have a smaller service area. We have a real robotaxi service. There's no one in the car. There is enough cars to service. Well, they actually don't have enough cars to service Austin, by the way.
Right.
Because the way it works in Austin
that.
specifically is you need to download the Uber app. You have to use the Uber app. You download Uber,
Right.
and then you order a car to come pick you up. And every once in a while, you might get a Waymo. And so they might have a small number of cars. They actually have 100, but they have a small number of cars, and they just basically don't show you up as an option in Uber. And that's, so they could expand as well as Tesla, but they just will just restrict
fewer
how many
people.
few people,
Yeah.
just like Tesla's doing. But in order for them to expand, it's not as easy. They have to go and map every one of those out. Now, it happens that Tesla's doing the same thing right now with LiDAR, just making sure, validating their vision because of this initial rollout. Has to be super, super safe. Can't have any issues. At some point, when they decide, okay, it's okay that the public, is not going to freak out if something happens. So just a quick point. What matters to me is not that Tesla has zero incidents. It's got to be zero. No, it's got to be less than humans dying. So tell me that it has less incidents than human accidents, less deaths than humans. You should roll this out farther, and as fast as you can. But that's not the standard that most people are expecting. They expect zero, which is ridiculous.
Unreasonable. There's a video I made recently where I was saying that FSD may never come to a market like Nepal because the roads are hectic and crazy and you can't make eye contact. But another reason is I have no tolerance for my machine bonking into other cars. Now, if I bonk into another car, I can be mad at myself. But if my machine does it, then it's unacceptable. And I don't think humans are about to change that opinion. And cars here with a perfect, flawless bumper are quite rare because the roads are simply crazy. Let's look at the map. This is from Not a Tesla app where they're showing the map over time. The launch, as we recall, just a little croissant there, followed by a inverted Tesla logo as viewed from Oklahoma. And the second expansion, more of a we're number one foam hand that you see at the games. And this one, I tried for a half an hour to get Grok to give me a cartoon kitty cat laying down.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Grok couldn't. Grok put a picture of a cat over it. It changed the shape of the map. It did anything except what I asked. And then I would ask it, is that what you think you drew? And it would say, no, that was completely different. Very good. Very good then.
Yeah. If
so
you
this
look at the
is-
expansion, right, it's almost like,
Yes.
it's not exactly, but it's almost like a doubling every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
And so that is exponential. That is what's going on.
Yes.
And I think that what you have been saying for so long, for the last couple months here, last month or two since June, is that what this is less about safety. It is, but it's actually less about that. It's about operational. It's logistics, not right, not geofence. It's
Right.
logistic fence. Yeah.
It's not a technical challenge. It's a practical challenge.
Operational.
It's operational. So the fact that they can add so many roads so quickly, one pass with a LiDAR to ground truth it instead of weeks and weeks, maybe years, it's crazy that Waymo has approach, that they've been sufficiently satisfied with their approach to not stop and rethink it. How many times has Tesla thrown out their code base and brought out something completely new? At least 2 or 3, right? We've got 20 miles, 40 miles, 85, 171. That's exactly what you said. It's doubling. And at this rate, by the time Waymo can go coast to coast, Tesla's probably going to be deploying on Mars. I mean, you'll never catch up because we're interplanetary. Now, I got some bad news for you. Of course, Jalopnik is in here with this slop. Tesla's Austin Robotaxi rollout is about looking good and little else. Now, is that reasonable? Playing in traffic.
Yeah. So this is the debate, right? People think that Teslas, because you have a safety observer, a person on the front seat on the right, putting their hand on a door thing, that somehow that is not robotaxi. And theoretically, or what's the word? What's the word? Technically, you're correct.
Yeah.
That is not robotaxi. You're right. But what is that person really doing? And so if you stop and think about it, a whole of these cars driving all these times since June 22nd, basically has been driving around, autonomously. And then you and I know that our cars drive autonomously everywhere we go. And so it's like the question is like, why are you not realizing that? So like in California, it is a massive, massive service area that they're doing. But no, it's Uber because there's a person in the front seat. But they're actually not driving. They don't touch the wheel.
Yes.
The car drives all over the Bay Area. And so for anybody who debates and says, that's not real robotaxi, wake me up until. Really? Seriously. Really? I mean, they're not touching the wheel. The car's driving itself. And so, until you're telling me that it's impossible to get to the point where there's only one incident out of, 70,000 miles or whatever number you want, 700,000 miles, you need to get to safer than a human. And we're pretty well there. The car drives itself, dude. So if you don't see that, you're ignoring that, great. Then you're correct. This is about looking good and nothing else.
A video by Ark Invest, one of Tesla's biggest stock promoters, shows a robotaxi ride where the safety monitor had to exit the car, change to the other side, and do something. You know that Waymos have been getting stuck until I don't know if it's in the last couple months, but that's a thing where they would get stuck and just park in the road and wait for a human to show up in a different car.
Every day there is another video that shows that, but few people even care. They never will see that on news. They'll never talk about it, but every single day there's Waymos getting stuck all over the place. So
Tesla is able to operate robotaxis this way thanks to few rules governing autonomous vehicles in Texas. That's not true. Texas has a framework, which means they have more rules than the vast majority of states. It's just that it's easy to navigate them. And again, this is not something specific to Tesla. Tesla has been doing rides without a person behind the wheel for, was it 10 years? No, that's Waymo. This is a 2-month-old project, and it's showing very promising results. A question I have for you is, because I know you've thought about this, if we get rid of the safety passenger, does that mean we can start rolling out cybercabs?
Well, I haven't thought of this, but I'm trying to understand your line of thinking on this one. Cybercabs is lots of things would need to be in order for them to decide to do that. It's a first brand new vehicle that has never seen a public road yet. So there's testing that they need to do for that in the first place. If you remove the safety monitor, well, what is that safety monitor doing in a Model Y? They're not in front of the steering wheel or pedals. They're just put their finger on the door handle. We don't know what that is. Some people think that when you press that door handle, it opens the door and stops the car. Well, that's been proven that's not, you can open the door, it doesn't stop the car. Some people think that that's been reconfigured, that if you press that button, it allows the car to just stop, to stop immediately. But we've seen that most times the safety observer actually touches a screen and pushes a button on their screen to tell the car, to not move or something like that. So I'm not sure what that is, but why couldn't you, even with a safety observer, be part of cybercab? I don't know.
Because you'd be shoulder to shoulder with a stranger instead of separated by a whole row.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Because there's only two, cybercab only can fit two people. It can only pick up one person. So by the time they roll this out, cybercab cannot have a person in there. Yeah, gotcha.
Cannot. And I'll tell you what I think that button is a, hey, look at me button that goes back to HQ with a little ping saying, is this something you need to be looking at? Because as new as Robotaxi is, the monitors in the car are just as new.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. Because if it was that,
yeah.
you could have just put a button on the screen, just like we do today. If something happens, you, the supervised FSD, would just press a button and say, hey, take a look at that. That's not as, this seems to be, they have their finger there. They're told to always have their finger there immediately, and they don't move, but they always have finger there. And I think that you can't even take your hand off. It's like you have to have it there all the time. I think it's got something that immediately something happens, like a biker decides to flip right in front of you. You got to press that. It's an emergency stop of the car. Stop.
So, okay, then I'm going to share my closing theory. Guys, in the comments, I want you to tell me what your theory is. The fingers on the button, because they are so prepared to get out of the car and never have safety observers anymore, that as soon as they get the word, they'll hit the button and they're done. Now it's just driverless and nobody in it but you.
That's what
it is. So they can just self-eject, tuck and roll. I think that's a good strategy for safety. Guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Head over to Brighter with Herbert. Get brighter, won't you? If not, hang around here. Get a little brighter here. But, I mean, that's really where you get the shine, the polish. And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the Flippity Flop.